Dear students, it is the third video for week 7 and we are going to cover Locke law of nature. In the previous video, we expressed Locke's theory of consent. Locke fundamentally believes that a man by nature is a social animal. He agrees with Aristotle's concept that a man is a social animal and he cannot live alone. He further says that a man is by nature a social animal and he is not selfish and he loves to live a comfortable and amicable way with the others. This is the point where Locke differs from Hobbes and others. Locke's expression of nature has these concepts. Number one, that according to Locke, the people were free to opt assignments, work, responsibilities for themselves, and they were able to hand over their consent and their property, or more specifically their rights in favor of another person with the willing. And you remember that this concept is being expressed from the view of earliest form of government, that under which the people at the first stage would have handed over them under or have subdued them for some government. Why? Because the government have been formed for years and years ago. Whereas at this point, for example, in Pakistan, onward, if you go on, that firstly we are in Pakistan and we are being controlled by the government of Pakistan and we show our obedience for the government of Pakistan. But before 1947, we were under the government of British. We all would call ourselves to be Indians. And you just go back a bit, we all the people were under the what we say, if you had to live in Punjab, for example, myself Punjabi, so there were the Sikh rulers. Just before the Sikh, you find Mughals, and just before the Mughals, once again you find Hindus. Fine. If you reverse this one, you find that at all the stage, the people were being controlled by some type of government, whatsoever that was. This is what the Locke is expressing, that at the first time when people had handed over their liberty and consent and property and will and everything, they had handed over freely. At that time, people were not slaved. According to law of nature, the equality was prevailing and all the offices and responsibilities were dispensed or distributed on this principle. Selflessness and mutual cooperation were the driving force. Clear? Law of nature ruled the people, and the law of nature actually regularized the people. And equal distribution of wealth would apply to on the life and the properties of the people. Fine. This is a very important thing, that he says that when in the 1,000 years ago, the man, nobody had the an exclusive right of the property. Means, because this world, this universe, these countries, continents, rivers, islands, They are not prepared by the human beings. They have been prepared by nature, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Thereby, and still in the constitution you have seen that no person can own a right on a river, no person can show the rights on the sun, no person can show off the right on the air. Okay? Air, rivers, clear, resources, they are called the natural, even in today's they are called the natural rights. Fine. And he further says that because a man was born free, thereby he was able to relish and enjoy all the facilities and blessings bestowed by the nature. He was free in life and had all rights to preserve his life, property, offspring, business. Fine. Now we in the same video express the natural rights, law of the natural rights. Clear? The basic concept of the law of the natural rights, Locke says, nature has assigned, given, gifted human beings the right of life, freedom, and owning the property. And this concept, when you open your own constitution of 1973, the very first articles, they are called articles of the fundamental rights. They are actually the rights of nature, the rights of property, the rights of freedom, the right of movement, the right of business, the right of opting a religion. Clear? To John Locke, the meanings of freedom means the freedom from all other the natural rights. He believes that a man can use his property, his ownership according to his consent, and can sell out his property to the other people. He believes that man is by nature a free and nobody can make him or nobody can enslave him. According to the natural law of rights, a man has an innate right of the self-defense. He believed that in a natural state, all the individuals do follow the law and they do act according to the common intellect. And the common sense guides the people that everybody is free and does have the equal rights as they do. Thereby, we should be careful about health, freedom, and properties of the other people, and we should not damage them unduly. Thank you very much.